People get ready. There's a train coming. You don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't need no ticket, no, you just thank the Lord. People get ready, there's a train to Jordan, picking up passengers from coast to coast. Faith is the key, it opens up the doors and falls down. There's always room for the loved and low. I believe, I believe, I believe, I do believe, yes I do now. I believe, yes I do now. I believe, yes I do. Oh, I believe. Sing it now. People get ready now. The train is coming. You don't need no baggage. You just come on, get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesels humming. You don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord. I thank you, Lord. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you, Lord. Yeah. Thank you, Lord. Yeah.
Good morning. Fantastic. Currently, Unity of Tacoma is an online church that works to meet the spiritual needs and social needs of its members and guests. So thank you very much for joining us this morning. Remember, you can always revisit and watch the service again during the week as it's being recorded. Today, our guest musician is Stephan Plummer. Woo! All the people are screaming and yelling. She doesn't get all that when you're online, so I'm doing it for you. She's a regular musical guest here at Unity, and I appreciate her music and her performances. I'm lucky to have her here every time I'm speaking, so thank you. And as I said earlier, I am the guest speaker, and my focus today will be on the power of goals. So let's do a little prayer. Let's do an invocation. Let's pray. Just relax your mind. Pay attention to your breath. It is the life force within you. The love of God breathing in and breathing out. As we rest in the presence of God, as we rest in the presence of love, let us rest together in this little box that we are all looking at. We are one, we are unity, we are thriving as individuals in a community. Amen. Stephan, thanks. We'll have you do another song for us.
Am I still on? Can you hear me? Okay. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. everything I've ever done, everything I've ever seen, everything I've lost or won, everything I've ever dreamed has brought me here to this present moment here, to this new beginning here, and I'm seeing life so clearly now. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in. Get ready, my soul. I'm diving in to the deepest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of life. Get ready, my soul. 'Cause here I go, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer to my sacred source. Here I go, deeper, deeper than I've ever been before. Here I go, closer, closer to my sacred source. My soul, I'm diving in to the sweetest kind of love, to the sweetest kind of love. Oh, get ready, my soul. Oh, to the deepest, deepest kind of love. Get ready, my soul.
Thank you very, very much. So get ready. Hey, it's January. So what? How's that New Year's resolution coming along? I hope it's awesome. Did you break it already? You know what happens in January. It's the time we set those resolutions. I have a question for you. What's the difference between a resolution and a goal? And it's not, this isn't even a joke, so I can't but up bump when I'm done. So I've stopped actually doing resolutions for a lot of years, and I set goals for myself for the new year. And a resolution is like a firm decision to do something or to not do something. For example, I will only eat healthy food this year, or I will stop cursing, or I will eat only one dessert a day. But the problem is, as soon as you eat one piece of junk food, or you speak one curse word, or eat more than one dessert, because you forgot you had a piece of cake for breakfast, so you had another one for dinner, you've already broken your resolution. So it's kind of a no wonder people give up on resolutions so easily, because it's either a do or a don't. It's often that's what it is, a do or a don't. But a goal is different. A goal is the object of your desire for like a specific result. So goals provide you with a direction to follow, some kind of outcome that you want to achieve, right? So goals involve setting intentions, planning, and taking realistic action. So I want to talk today about the power of goals. I'm going to do two parts. And the first part is setting effective goals. I'm going to look at two different ways to establish effective goals. One way to set achievable goals is by using the SMART goal formula. So I'm going to pull up some slides here and share this with you. Trying something a little new here, so we'll see how it works. That's not the right slide though, so let's go back. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, we got to drop out because you're already seeing everything. That's why I said we're doing something new. Okay, here we go. Let's try that again. Besides, where else do you have to go, right? Okay, SMART goals. I want to look at SMART goals. And this is an acronym that used for these words. And so a goal they consider to be SMART if it's specific, if it's measurable, it's achievable, relevant, and time bound, which is like time sensitive. So I like this just because I can always remember SMART. So I am going to look at an example of how to implement this SMART formula with my personal goal. My goal for this year is I will physically be more mobile this year. Okay, so that's the goal I've set for myself. So now I'm going to go through the SMART. I'm going to say, well, is this measurable? It is not measurable, and it is not specific. So I said specific is the first one. It's not specific, and it's not measurable. So how can I do that to make it more measurable? Because I'm like, okay, how do I know if I was more mobile at the end of the year than I was at the beginning of the year? I can reach an inch higher. I don't know. I don't know what that means. So I have to do something. So I'm going to switch it. I'm going to add it a little bit. I will get physically more mobile this year so I can ride my bike around Anderson Island. Now I've got something I can actually do. So is this measurable? Yes. So by the end of the year, if I'm riding my bike around Anderson Island, I'm like, woohoo, I reached my goal, I reached my goal. And of course, by being able to ride my bike that much, I have become more mobile. Okay, now is this achievable? Now that's the next question, and I'm gonna say, yeah, I'm not sure that's achievable because there are a lot of hills on Anderson Island. And at this point, I'm only riding about 20 minutes a day, and so I'm going to need to do a lot. Some of you know I have lupus, and so right now it's kind of attacking a lot of my joints, and so that's part of the issue. If I didn't have lupus, I would be all over the mountain bike world, kicking it, man. But right now I've just got some joints flaring up, so that's kind of why I'm getting this goal out there. So I'm going to say, no, this is not achievable. It's a little too much for me, so I'm going to change it again. I will get physically more mobile this year so I can ride my bike to and from the Anderson Island store. Now that works because it's only about 3 miles away, and so I could get there and back, even if I have to stop. And the hills are not that big. So I think that's achievable. That is something that I could do. So then I ask the question, is it relevant? And I'm going to say, yes, it's relevant. And here's the reasons it's relevant, I think, for 2 reasons. One is that I need to be more physically mobile to reach this goal. So it's going to help me become more mobile. That's the first reason. The second reason is that it is actually something that I'm concerned about is it reduces my carbon footprint. While I do errands, I could actually ride my bike to the store, pick up a few little things, and come back. And that would be super fun to do. So there's 2 things. So it actually has a relevant purpose. Now, is it time bound? It is not time bound. I don't know when am I going to do that by? So I'm going to write it again. I will get physically more mobile this year so I can ride my bike to and from the Anderson Island store by the end of June 2021. So by the end of June 2021, that is my goal. And the reason I said it there is because I think I can achieve that. And then the rest of the summer, I could do some fun bike riding, maybe working towards my second goal of riding around Anderson Island. I don't know, but I do think I can achieve that at least. So now I have a SMART goal. It is specific, it is measurable, it's achievable, relevant, and time bound. I win. So I think it's really, I'm just kind of sharing and unsharing, so that takes just a little bit of time. So the thing about the SMART goals is I think that it really can help you set successful goals. So I like that formula. But I think it's missing an important step. And so I want to share another formula for making successful goals. And this is a 3-minute video that explains it nicely. So I'm going to pull it up and share that. This is with Berna.
Voices TV host. Hi. Ew. I'm on the 3rd season of Pretty Little Liars. Don't tell me anything, don't tell me anything. I'm going to teach you how to set a goal. Goal! Big or small. And actually, legitimately achieve it.
I can't deal.
I just can't deal.
I can't deal.
I can't deal. Yay, smack it. Berna, I don't know what my goal is. Yeah, you do. You're thinking too hard. Everyone has something that they love or that they want. Just go with whatever honestly comes to you. Right now. Get recruited by University of South Minnesota Tech Prep State. Go Mascots! Own a puppy farm. Get a 4,000 on the SATs. That's not possible. You're not possible. It could be short term, crush that chemistry test, or long term, write a zombie novel. I love you. Now, if you need extra motivation, do what I do. Smack it. Smack it. Write it down and smack it everywhere that you might see it. Smack it on your binder and smack it on your mirror and smack it on your forehead. People won't think you're crazy. They'll know that you're driven, okay? It's a difference. Maybe a little crazy. Attack it! But Berna, I just don't know how to start. From the beginning. Now, it's easy to overwhelm yourself when you're taking on a new goal. So my way? Attack! Hide! Be a little, tiny baby. Choose one day of the week. I personally like Sundays. That is my attack day. Sit down, think about your goal, and think of 5 small things you can do to get there. But each thing should take no more than 15 minutes to do. Then, for the next week, do one of those things on the list every day. 5 things, 1 thing a day, 15 minutes, get her done. Then on day 6, take a break. You deserve it, treat yourself. But on your next attack day, start it all over again. These teeny steps will add up quick. But more importantly, you're gonna feel awesome putting in the work every day. Track it. Stop singing. But I'm never gonna keep track. I'm getting sick and tired of your complaining. My favorite way to track my goals is to tell the world. You can blog about it. You can start a hashtag. You could post it on Post-its. Or just tell one friend. Just so at least one other person has the chance to say something to you like, hey, so zombie novel? Make it a point to tell one new person about your goal every single week. Someone that might be able to help you out. Tell your mom's friend who's a publisher, might be able to give you tips. Tweet at your favorite zombie author, ask him for advice. Other people will get excited about your goal, which will make you excited about your goal, which will make other people more excited about your goal. And it's just a circle. It's a circle of goals. It's a circle of goals. You're gonna get your ish done. See? Goals do not need to be a scary thing. They are 100% attainable if you smack it, define your goal, attack it 1 bite at a time, and track it. Tell the world. Dance break.
So just to reiterate her 3 points. So I love this because when I watched this, I thought this is so about intentions, setting intentions, smacking it, posting it wherever you can see it, right? That's seeing it, because so much about intentions is whether we put something out there and we visualize it. So even if it's you could put a picture of it or just write it, and put it up and around different places so you see it. Then the attacking it, you're writing it down. By making a list, you're writing it down. So that's another part of intentions that helps you keep your intentions. And then attack each one of those things. And then share it, which is having you say it. And that's another part of often getting intentions, you to move towards your intentions is by saying it. So seeing it, writing it, saying it. And that's exactly what she has. So I really like Berna's formula. So I want to apply this to my goal of getting physically more mobile this year so I can ride my bike to and from Anderson Island by the end of June 2021. So smack it. So I'm going to put that around some places that I can see it. Might put it on my refrigerator, put it on my mirror. I'm going to find some cool things. I like the idea, though, of putting a picture of the Anderson Island store. And maybe I'll go have Fred go with me, take a picture of me out in front of the store on my bike. We might have to drive my bike down there, make someone else ride it. But having pictures around on your phone or whatever that helps you visualize what you want to do. And then attacking it. Again, it's putting down what you can do. And I like this because it's not, you don't have to do more than 15 minutes. Because sometimes okay, I'm going to get a certain exercise or a certain, whatever it is. And we tend to think, oh my God, I got to do this big old thing. No, schedule 15 minutes or less even. And so I kind of made a series of some questions here. I mean, of some things I want to do. So let me pull this down because I want to share this also. So these are the things I have come up with. Hoping you can see them all. So I have a list of 8 things. I'm going to kind of move around on my list. So ride my bike for at least 15 minutes. Now the thing is about this is something I can do more than once. But ride my bike for at least 15 minutes. Walk for at least 15 minutes. Stretch for at least 10 minutes because I get bored with stretching. Yeah, I find it's not a real mindful thing. I mean, it probably is. Well, when I do it with yoga, though, it is because you're being mindful. So I got to rethink that. I'm going to book a massage, and that doesn't take very long. But having the massage will be more than 15 minutes, but cool, right? I can always get off the table at 15 and say I'm done if I don't like it. Take Advil when I'm in pain. Do low impact yoga for at least 15 minutes and soak in a hot tub or like a hot tub, not like hot tub. So those are some things that I have put down for my thing. And so I will pick, I just go easy. So she says like 5 things. I'm always like, well, be like 3 to 5 things. Cause if it's hard to do 5, then you're like, oh crap, I didn't do all 5. No, do 3 to 5, and then so you want to start with 3 and you go, I got 3 done. I mean, 3 is better than none, right? Or do 5 and you do 1 and then you hate it. So no, just say, I'm going to start with 3 and I'm going to work my way up to 5. However you want to do it should always be in the positive. So I'm going to pick some of those every week. I'll do 3 to 5 of those. And that way I can always feel successful. And then the last thing of tracking it. I love that idea because you're celebrating your victories. And so whether you want to tweet it out, post a picture of you on Facebook or whatever it is you do with social media, cool beans. And the idea of sharing it is like telling a friend or something is, again, by you're speaking your truth, you're speaking where you're going. It's one of those things that does help you move towards your intentions. Now, but also I think the idea when you acknowledge your victories, you are practicing gratitude because you're saying something that you accomplished. And there's that part of, yeah, I'm grateful for what I was able to do. So the practice of gratitude is connected to that. It's a positive gesture by telling somebody what you've done. So I like the idea of celebrating and telling someone, but you can't go like this. I only rode my bike 2 times this week, but it was only for like 10 minutes. I could have done better, but I really was busy and my knee hurt most of the week and it was really rainy. That is not celebratory. That is whiny. That is rationalizing. That is making excuses. So if that's what you did, you turn around and you go, I rode my bike 2 times this week for 10 minutes. Woohoo! Hoot, hoot, hoot. That's the gratitude. That's the celebration that you want to do. So that is two ways of kind of setting. I mean that I think can help set goals that you can reach. And they do take a little bit of work. That's the thing. I mean, you don't have to do those things, but I find that when I set those up, I've reached some amazing goals because I've set them up like that. But the second part I want to talk about is when goals don't work. And whether we use the SMART formula that I put out there or Berna's 3 steps, or we use some of both, there are times when good goals won't work. And you say, well, why? That's what I want to know. Well, realistically, there are situations that come along or get in the way of us reaching our goals. And I think Maslow's theory of human needs can explain what I mean. So I am going to share that. So I want you to be able to see it. So here it is. So the idea that I like behind this is that, I hope you can see at the bottom, is that his whole purpose is saying that, we need to build a base and we can move our way up. So we need our physiological needs met, then safety needs, then belonging and love needs. Then you can start working on your self-esteem and accomplishment of your accomplishments and your self-actualization. So sometimes if you often look at saying, okay, I really want to work on some intimate relationships, but you are struggling. Like I was thinking when I was divorced, and I was actually at some time, I was homeless living with a friend for a while. And I really wanted to be in a relationship, but oh my gosh, I was missing some basic safety needs. So I could not do that. I think about my students that come to school and they're working hard, and some of them are working really hard, and some of them can barely get there and they barely get stuff done. And when I check in with them, I find out like, okay, my parents are getting divorced. We may have to move. They're not getting enough to eat, and so it's harder to get school when we have school. They've got both free breakfasts and lunches, and we still have those meals, but they have to pick them up. If they forget to pick up 3 days of meals on Monday, they have missed that. So just by not having enough food, or we have a lot of kids that are, like I said, are even homeless, and so they are struggling with those, just the physiological needs and the safety needs. And so you're thinking about trying to get them to self-actualize or to accomplish things. That's that's impossible for them to do that. So it's why we need to know where our students are before we start to push them. So I'm just happy when they show up, and then I can be a support to them. So the lowest levels, so just basically the lowest levels of the pyramid are made up of the most basic human needs, while the most complex needs are at the top of the pyramid. So Maslow's theory states that once the lower levels of needs have been met, people can move on to turn their attention to the next level. So I want to share a personal story. During an emotionally difficult time in my life, I had a therapist that told me I just needed to be in therapy to work through the emotional turmoil in my life. And she wanted me to do group therapy. So I attended, I was thinking I attended a couple, but no, I think I only went one time, and I went, no, I hate this. I don't want to do this again. But she was my therapist. So one night when I was feeling extremely distraught and depressed, when I felt like that, I would go for walks. So I went for a walk, and I couldn't shake the dark feelings. So I ended up cuddling up, holding my knees on the side of a residential street, and I called her so she could help me move through my pain, because I know contact with people is something that can help you move forward. Well, surprisingly, she launched into a lecture about how I just needed to do this, and I needed to do that, and this, and that. I just needed to get a job, even if it's at McDonald's, just get going. And I thought, yeah, this is going to be the end of this therapist. So I got off the phone rather quickly, because I was like, she's not making me feel better. She is giving me, making me feel bad. And I'm like, that's not helping this gloom and doom that's going on. So I called my sister instead, and she, like always, helped me move through the dark hour. And some of the things that she always did was she really listens. And then she would say things like, I have no idea what to do, but I care about you, or that sucks. And so I could always feel like she was identifying with me, and then I didn't feel like I was some kind of plague or something. It's like, okay, I could just sit and rest in it with her, knowing that I was okay. And then I could okay, get up. I'm ready to get up and go home. And it works. And so, but I didn't want to bother her all the time, so I didn't call her, every time. I would call her once in a while. So it was like the primo time when I get to be with my sister. But later, when I was processing that incident in particular, I had this aha moment. I wasn't able to do all the things that my therapist wanted me to do, because I was at the bottom tiers of Maslow's pyramid. I was on food stamps, and I wasn't even getting enough for my son and I to get through the month. We were without a home, and we're temporarily crashing at the home of a very gracious friend. but in Washington, that's considered homeless. I was lacking financial security. So I was in this survival mode, and all the dreams I had for myself were not going to be realized until I could adequately meet my physiological and safety needs. And when I could get there, all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, see, I'm a person. There's not anything wrong with me. But that aha moment made, I don't need to go to therapy. I need to figure out how to make my ends meet and get the things that I need. And part of that was, yeah, I needed to get a job, but I wasn't going to go to McDonald's because that would be really depressing for me. Having a master's degree in theology, I'm going to work at McDonald's. No, that would have been depressing. Nothing wrong with working at McDonald's. It's a great place to work for people that like working there. Yeah, we're not going to say anymore. I'm going to get in trouble. Well, you think about during this pandemic, during this pandemic, I'm muting myself so you don't hear me gagging. During this pandemic, people are struggling with that third tier of the pyramid. They're struggling to have meaningful relationships with friends and families, and families are breaking up. And part of that is because of the isolation. You don't get to be out with your family and friends like you normally do. And so you have to say, no, this is different. So I might be struggling in this area. And if you're struggling in this area, you for sure aren't going to be able to focus on the upper parts of the pyramid. So understanding that about yourself, if you're making a goal and you're realizing, wait a sec, I'm in that third area right now. I've got the bottom two, but I'm working in that third area. So maybe your goal needs to be in that area before you can move on. If your family is struggling financially or lacking finances because of the pandemic, then it's even hard to focus on those relationships, which is again why there are relationships that are breaking up over because of the pandemic, because of the stress of the pandemic. So there is nothing wrong with you if you can't reach this high goal that you've always had for yourself. Look at where you are. See where you are. See what you need to do to get those bottom needs met and fulfilled. And then you can start working your way up that pyramid. So the nice thing is no matter where you fall on that pyramid, this is the part that I just want you to remember, is that you are loved by God, by me, by the folks around you. You are love. You are love and you are loved. You are a valuable person. You are valuable beyond measure. Even if you're just trying to make ends meet, it doesn't get rid of your value. Even if you're struggling along, it doesn't get rid of your value or the love. And so sometimes just hanging on to those things, knowing that, can help you focus on those lower tiers, because even though you can't actualize maybe something, you can keep reminding yourself, I am loved, I am valuable. Because being on those lower tiers doesn't diminish what you're worth. It doesn't diminish your importance. You're still important to some people, some place. You still have some kind of contribution, even though you may not feel like you have a contribution to society. It might be slight, but your value to the community is still there. And let other people realize their potential by letting them help you. That might be their ideas, like, I love to help people, right? So let them listen to you. Ask them if you can share with them. Let them encourage you. Let them tell you how awesome you are. So when you're amidst difficult times, just think of that. Well, this is the time I get to let other people actualize themselves, right? So that's the 2 points that I want to make. So just in closing, so one is, to recap, is that we can set goals for ourselves, and being intentional to set goals is they're going to be much more successful. So remembering the SMART goals. Are they specific? Are they measurable? Are they achievable? Are they relevant? Do they pertain to something? And are they time bound? And then with burners, again, setting up a goal and saying, what do I want to do this week to move towards that goal? Because that is often what people is missing when people are not succeeding in their goals, because they set a goal and then they just wait for it to happen. I'm going to be in a wonderful relationship. And then they sit around waiting for somebody to knock on the door. And then they open it like, oh my gosh. Or maybe they go to a movie and they meet somebody like, oh my, okay, that's what happened to me. But I also was in a place where I had to do a lot of personal work before I was ready to be in a relationship again. So maybe that's part of it. You want to be in a good relationship, but what do you need to do to prepare yourself for a strong relationship? Are you really needy, or are you closed off, or what is it? And remember, that's okay to be those things, but if you want a specific kind of relationship, you may need to do things to improve yourself so you're ready for that kind of a relationship. So even though there's things that get in our way of maybe reaching some really high goals, we can still set goals for ourselves. And setting our goals, once we reach those, we can then set new goals and new goals. But it's something that takes time. It isn't just sitting back on your couch hoping it happens for you. Unless your goal is to watch every episode of one particular show or other, then yeah, you could reach that goal. But you still have to say, hey, I want to sit down and watch all those to reach that goal. But no matter where you are, what kind of goals you set or don't set, remember that you are loved and you are love. So I want to turn it back over to Stephan.
Oh, Cindy, thank you so much. Wow. I am always encouraged every time you speak. You know, you're just like that goddess of I don't need two pairs of glasses, thank goodness. I just need one. Okay. So thank you. You know, this song I wrote years ago, and it's actually, the title of it is Intention. So I should share that song today. How many times have I said I'm gonna do things different this time, only to get stopped by my fears? I better play it safe as the someday conversation instead. But if I really think about it and really pray about it and scream about it, sing about it, then I understand on some deep and profound and sacred level. Intentions for the new year, intentions for the new year. I can really have it all. Intentions for the new year, intentions for the new year. I'm gonna be powerful in my life. Intentions for the new year, intentions for the new year. I'm not gonna sit by and just let them pass me by. Intentions for the new year, intentions for the new year. Yours and mine, yeah. When did I ever start to thinking that it was okay to disregard all that I say that I want? Oh my goodness, my greater good is leading me on now. I know that I will get there one day. How about today, people? Come on now. Intentions for the new year. Intentions for the new year. I can really have it all. Intentions for the new year. Intentions for the new year. I'm not going to let them slip by me and pretend that it's all right. Intentions for the new year. Intentions for the new year. I'm going to be so powerful in my life. Intentions for the new year. Intentions for the new year. I'm going to say what I mean and mean what I say and manifest in my life. Okay, here's how it goes. A thought plus a feeling equals a demonstration. God is always listening, and I can be in the holy gap. Oh, yeah. 5 steps of a treatment: recognition, unification, realization, thanksgiving, and release. I release my words to the automatic law of the universe. I release and I let go, and so it is. Intentions for the new year. Intentions for the new year. I can really have it all. Intentions for the new year. Intentions for the new year. I'm gonna be powerful in my life this year. Intentions for the new year. Intentions for the new year. I'm not gonna don't let my intentions slip by me and then pretend that it's all right. It's for the new year. That's for the new year. I'm gonna realize in my life, oh yeah, intentions, 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 intentions.
Sweet.
Thank you.
So we move forward. We're going to go into a time of meditation. I'm going to play Eva Cassidy's Over the Rainbow in the background because I think the theme fits what we're doing. So we're going to do that. But I want you to go ahead and close your eyes and be aware of your breath. Pay attention to it. Is it deep? Is it shallow? Is it quick? Try some deep, long breaths in and out. Feel your body just settle in and relax. We're going to focus in on choosing a goal. I'm going to walk you through the SMART goals so you don't have to come up with the perfect phrasing at the moment. But what is something you would like to achieve? Something that you would like to accomplish this year? Pick anything. What is something you really desire? What is something that you really want to happen? If you don't know for sure what the deepest goal that you want or something you specifically, just pick something that might be something that you want, and we're going to work with that. I'm going to ask you some questions, and that's going to help you phrase it, but I'll start with that. Looking at a goal that's something that you desire. What is it that you specifically want? If you could say, this is what I want, what specifically do you want to see happen? Ask yourself, how do you know when you have reached it? And you say, oh, I know I have reached my goal. So phrase it in a way that you can say, oh, this is specific and I know I've reached it because I can measure this. Is that goal achievable? Is it something you can accomplish this year? If it's too much, maybe you could pick another goal that's a step towards that bigger goal. So think through your goal. Is it something that's achievable? If it is, great. If not, just adjust it. Now set a timeline. When do you want to be able to reach that goal? By what date? What month? I think it's nice to do it sometime within the year. You can make another goal for next year because we can have short-term and long-term. Maybe it's something you want to do by the end of the month and then set another one for the next month. But when do you want to be able to reach this goal? So now I want you to actually think about what steps you can take this week to reach that goal. Think of 3 to 5 things, and I'd say right now just focus on 3 things. 3 things that you could do that would take less than 15 minutes. Is it make a phone call? Is it journal? Is it check in with a friend? Is it resting? Is it doing meditation? Pick at least 3 steps that you can do this week. that will take less than 15 minutes. If you want to do it more than 15 minutes, okay, but say at least I can do this for at least 15 minutes. Now I would love it if you could, because we're not going to remember these things, most of us. So if you can have some paper or something, go scramble. I'm going to let you just a few minutes. Grab some paper and write those goals down, the steps down. If you don't want to write them down, then just put it in your head. Just kind of look at them, see them in your mind's eye, so you can put them down later. Thank you, Eva. So as you come out of your meditation time, if you're with somebody and you want to share what you put down, I recommend that you do that. If you're sitting with somebody and you're at your home or your place, share that. But for sure, share it by the end of the week with something when you accomplish any of those steps that you set up. Just encourage you to reach out and share. And you can always email me and tell me, because I'm happy to know how you're doing. So we come back to focus on what's going on around us. I'm going to invite Stephan to come back in and to sing another song for us.
Hi again. Thank you, Cindy. I was thinking about all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and this song came to mind. It's a Dottie Rambo song, and I just think it works for whatever's going on. That's kind of crazy. Or stuff, right? Stuff. A lot of stuff going on. Actually, I think I'm going to switch gears, just because this other song kind of came to me, actually, and I'm not really totally prepared for that one, so I apologize. Next time for sure, though, okay? Say, yeah, what was that Dottie Rambo song? It's actually a song that Whitney Houston sang, too. A lot of people sang Dottie Rambo songs, but this one's good, too. This one is I Hope You Dance. Same idea. I hope you never lose your sense of wonder. You get your fill to eat, but always keep that hunger. May you never take one single breath for granted. God forbid love ever leave you empty-handed. I hope you still feel small when you stand beside the ocean. Whenever one door closes, I hope one more opens. Promise me that you'll give faith a fighting chance. And when you get the choice to sit it out or dance, I hope you dance. I hope you dance. I hope you never feel those mountains in the distance. Never settle for the path of least resistance. Living might be taking chances, but they're worth taking. Loving might be a mistake, but it's worth making. Don't let some heaven heart leave you bitter. When you come close to selling out, reconsider. Give the heavens above more than just a passing glance. And when you get the choice, sit it out or dance. I hope you dance. I hope you dance. Time Why don't you?
Stephan Plummer is in the house. Thank you very much. You can definitely check out Stephan. It's got CDs done, and you can get online and check her out, and her Facebook page and different stuff like that. So, yeah, a force to be reckoned with. Thank you very much. I especially liked the Intentions, New Year Tension song. That was really awesome. Hadn't heard that one before, so I really liked it.
That's on my new CD.
Okay. Anyway, you can make sure when you come to these services to share out. Tell your friends that you're coming and going. There's some ways that you can support Unity of Tacoma. Your tithes and offerings, so you can send stuff in, and you can actually donate right online. They also have a store open now where you can get shirts and sweatshirts, little hoodies, and hats, cool face masks, and so much more. So there's another way you can support. Plus, really, then have some cool garb to wear. That's awesome. Go ahead and then just join us again next week. We'll be here with a new speaker and new musician. Musician. That's how I learned how to say. Let's close with a benediction. As you go forward, as you step out of your house or your apartment, and as you step back inside, may you be the light and love of God in all that you do. May you know that you have the power to reach your goals. You have the power to be who you want to be. And you have people who love and care about you to help you get there. Praise God. And so it is.
Another song?
Yeah, if you close us out, that'd be great.
Actually, I found my capo, so I'm going to do the Dottie Rambo song. So it didn't take long, did it? Where do I go when there's nobody else to turn to? Who can I talk to when nobody wants to listen? Who do I lean on when there's no foundation stable? I go to the rock, I know he's able. I go to the rock. I go to the rock of my salvation. I go to the stone that the builders rejected. I run to the mountain, and the mountain stands by me. When the earth all around me is sinking sand on God, solid rock I stand. When I need a shelter, when I need a friend, I go to the rock. Where do I go when the storms of life are threatening? Who do I turn to when the waters of sorrow blow? And is there a refuge in a time of tribulation? I go to the rock, I know he's able. I go to the rock. I go to the rock of my salvation. I go to the stone that the builders rejected. I run to the mountain, and the mountain stands by me. When the earth all around me is sinking sand, on God the solid rock I stand. When I need a shelter, when I need a friend, I go to the rock. When I need a shelter, when I need a friend, I go to the rock. When I need a shelter, when I need a friend, I go to the rock. Yes, I do. I go to the rock. Yeah, yeah.
Have a wonderful week, you all. Thank you for being here.